In the run-up to its second season, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power has addressed a number of issues, including the inclusion of a significant Tolkien character and its far-reaching implications. The Rings of Power Season 2 teaser unveiled the next chapter in Galadriel and Company's adventures in one of the most dramatic trailer drops of SDCC. At the SDCC, showrunners declared that Celeborn will be back-ending conjecture over Celeborn's possible demise in Rings of Power. The first season of Rings of Power takes place in the Second Age, and Galadriel was married at the time since. According to the Silmarillion, she fell in love with Celeborn during the First Age. Prior to the events of Season 1, Celeborn fought in Rings of Power, and Galadriel never saw him again. This gave the show the opportunity to hint at a romance between Halbrand and Galadriel, but Celeborn's homecoming will put an end to that. The theatrical goal of the tension between Vickers and Morphy D. Clark, who plays Galadriel, was to make it more difficult for Galadriel and the audience to accept Sauron's deception when it was revealed in the Rings of Power's first season finale. Galadriel may have turned the corner on Sauron, but based on images made public by Amazon, it appears that she is still tempted. There will likely be more sequences involving Sauron and a mystery meeting with Adar. Whether it happens in Season 2 or later, Celeborn's debut might give Galadriel a useful compass to help her find redemption. Tolkien expressed his views on elf conventions in a number of posthumous writings and stories. Thus, by this standard, Galadriel would not have considered a romance with anyone other than Celeborn, much less Sauron. Elves are Tolkien's ideal species, their spirits being masters of their bodies. They are seldom swayed by the desires of the body only, but are by nature continent and steadfast, he wrote in the 1950s. Tolkien's Catholicism guided the development of this idea. With Celeborn removed from the picture, the Rings of Power allowed Galadriel to entertain a kind of uncertainty that Tolkien wrote about. For Nerdist of Galadriel, showrunner Patrick McKay stated that her pride and her PTSD were a crack that Sauron could get into and manipulate her to get everything he wanted. It wouldn't have been the worst of Galadriel's crimes if, in her lowest moments, she had feelings of desire for someone other than Celeborn. Unlike many modern works of fiction, which portray intricate psychological portraits, Tolkien's epic of high fantasy was written in broad strokes. Tolkien did not elaborate much on the internal battle that the characters went through, but it is a universal experience. It is difficult to characterize Galadriel and Sauron as romantic or sexual, even when one considers the Rings of Power's inevitable justification for even vaguely considering a romance between the two characters. This is especially true given the legendarium's heavy emphasis on Galadriel's moral purity. Luckily, Celeborn's reappearance will destroy all evidence of it. According to the showrunners, Sauron and Galadriel will continue to have a cosmic connection for one another via Gamesrar. They liberated each other to be the diametrically opposed energies that they truly are and taught one another a lot about themselves in the process. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.